So welcome to a new video. This one is going to focus on primarily FTP and using the FTP program. Now, unfortunately, I don't have access to the server that you're at, but I will show you how to use the FTP at that location, and we'll see how well you do. So first of all, you're going to be working primarily in ILearningSystem. And in ILearningSystem, just to start from scratch, you're going to be at the home page, and you're going to need to FTP your projects up to the servers so the teacher can grade it and you can present it to the class. Another option, you can use USB drives if that's available. But the easier way is FTP it up to the server, and then when you present it to the class, you simply just go to the front computer and pull up the IP address and the path for your individual website. Okay? So first of all, let's talk about the project. I'm going to review a little bit here, but your first project is a portfolio. And you're going to work on that. That should be something that you work on, as soon as you think you're comfortable and you're done your lessons. But the due date on that is 8/26, and then you're going to be presenting it between 8/26 and 9/9. Some of you may take a little longer to work on this. So the portfolio project, you just click on the word portfolio project. I'm going to make this a little bigger. And you'll notice there's no concepts as we talked about before. This gives instructions of what you're going to build. And this gives an example of somebody who built a portfolio website for himself. Over on the right, if this particular project, you got two links. If you're at home, you can use the first link and go to a website and get more information and download the files. But this second link is a Git account, mine, that actually I've shared the source code. So that's going to give you a template to start with. Now, is it going to be an extremely fancy template? No, it's going to look something like this. And you're going to put your picture in here or a picture of something. Your name, information about yourself down below. You're going to write a little bio about yourself and then add some various different images and hopefully change the color and add various cool things. So when you click on Lesson Reference 2, you're going to go to the GitHub account, and you're going to see that it includes HTML, which is all here, and it includes CSS stuff that's going to be here. So first thing you're going to do is you're going to highlight the HTML. You're going to right mouse click and copy. Okay, this is going to get you started. Okay. Now today what we're going to do is we're going to jump into actually using Visual Studio Code. Okay, in the other video we talked about Notepad, but Visual Studio Code is what you should start getting comfortable with. So if you don't have it as a taskbar icon, you might want to come over here and type Visual and look for Visual Studio Code. That's not the purple one, but the blue one. Right mouse click and you can pin to taskbar. Okay? So to open it up, then you just click it, and then the first thing you need to do is create a folder and then point this to that folder. So you're going to go to File and you're going to go to Open Folder. Now Windows does allow you to create folders when you're trying to open a folder. So all your code for websites this year are going to be under a folder called Sites. So you're going to look for this PC and local PC, local disk C, and you're going to look for a Sites folder. Okay, now you should all have that. If you don't, then go ahead and create it. So you'll need a Sites folder on the C drive. So double click in it. In that folder, you're probably going to see a whole bunch of folders, but you can actually remove the other ones if you want. But you should create a folder called CSD 25 AM for the AM class and CSD 25 PM for the PM class. Once you create it, if you're in the AM class, double click on the AM and create a folder called Portfolio underneath that. Now eventually you're going to have a whole bunch of folders, one for each project, including a folder called Personal Project 25 or whatever for this project. So you're going to click Portfolio. Once you create the folder, create it, and what we're going to do is we're going to select that as your folder. So you're going to have Sites, CSD, and now how do you create a folder? You can right mouse click inside any of these folders and go to New, and then go to Folder, and then type the name of the folder you want to create. Okay? So we're going to select Portfolio Folder because this is an open folder. It doesn't want files. It wants you to select the folder you're going to be working in. And I'm going to click it. Now it wants to know if you want to trust. I would say always trust this folder. The next thing you're going to notice is you won't have any files over here on the right. So you're going to have to create a file. And you create a file by clicking, there's a little, next to Portfolio, there's a little file with a plus. And that's New File. Or you could go File and go New File. Either way. Once you do that, it's going to ask you the name of the file. I'm going to call this file page 2 because I want to have 2 pages. And I want to name it HTML. And it's going to confirm that you want to create this file called page under there. And I'm going to say Create File. And over on the left, it should say the name of your file. Now, today you want to create an index.html and a style.css. Now, remember in iLearningSystem and GitHub, back here, we copied everything from the HTML tag to the ending HTML tag. And an ending tag has a slash. And it basically is encapsulating. It's saying, hey, everything from the top HTML to the ending HTML is going to be part of my HTML page. I'm going to go grab it. I'm going to right mouse click on the highlighted area, very important. Some of you may need to practice that, and click copy. And then you're going to go back to your Visual Studio Code, go to your index.html and paste it. Okay? Make sure you don't see any red. Red is bad. It means errors. But you should have everything from the HTML to the ending HTML. And you'll notice it knows about HTML. So when you click HTML, it should highlight the ending. Now, this will not save automatically. You need to hit File, Save, or Control S. Okay? The next thing you're going to do is the same thing. You're going to come down here. You're going to go underneath the CSS comment. Now, the 2 slashes is a comment in code, but we're not going to use that because it doesn't work in CSS and HTML. So we're going to grab from the body all the way to the end of the page. Make sure to get the closing squiggly brace, and we're going to right mouse click and copy, or Control C if you want something quick. We're going to open up and we're going to go to our style CSS, right mouse click and paste, or Control V as in Victor. And you should have no red, and every squiggly brace should have an ending squiggly brace, because that's pretty much how style sheets work. Is they're basically like functions in programming. They're saying, hey, this word footer, it starts here and ends down here. Okay. If you make a mistake, you're going to have errors in your HTML website. So we also want to save this. So File, Save. Okay. And now you have the HTML and you're ready to go. You can actually, I would recommend test it before you change anything. But when you change things, like I want to change my name here to Mr. Early, and I want to put in other things here and start putting a biography, a whole bunch of information about me here, blah, blah, blah. Make sure after you change something to save. It won't show unless you do that. I don't believe the run will work unless we configure it, but let's see what happens. Oh, it actually did work. So if you click run, it'll actually run your HTML and your CSS, but you'll notice that you can run with debugging or without debugging. So let's say I'm going to do it with debugging, and it's going to ask you which browser you wanted. I just chose Edge. Now, the other thing you're going to need to do is you need to learn to host your websites. Okay, so again, we're going to go pull up IIS Manager, click on the sites. So you have to open up sites. Go to your default website, just like we talked about before. Go to Basic Settings and click this little 3 dots under Physical Path. So we're going to point to that folder. So to do that, you're going to go to this PC local disk, and then you're going to look for your sites folder, and you're going to look for the folder you created, CSD25AM, and you're going to point it toward Portfolio. Okay? And by default, if you click on this icon default document, it should have an index.html amongst the list of other file types. Now, typically, I will delete the other file types, but once you make these changes, so you change the basic setting path, then you need to restart the server. So you click the name of the server up top, click Stop, and then click Start. That's going to reset the server, and this gives you the ability now to go to a tab in Chrome or in Edge or any browser and type localhost, and you can now preview the website. Notice that I changed the name, so the new name is there. But this is what you want to do. You want to preview constantly as you make changes. Okay, so this is important. This is FTP, and this is installing a website on a server. Okay, now how do you send this up to FTP? So we've created the files, we've got all this going. Now you want to go to WSFTP, and that should be available on your computer. If not, you're going to send a teacher message to your teacher and and let us know, or have someone in your class set that up for you. So the first thing you're going to do in FTP is you're going to notice it's old school. This is 1995. It's because they won't let you use anything else. So in general, you're going to create a new, unless you have a FTP to the IP address. So you're going to click New. You're going to say class server, and you're going to put the IP address that the teacher gives you. So I'm going to put a fake one here, 192.168.114.14. So wherever you're going to be hosting your website, your teacher will put that on the board. And the passwords typically are CSD admin is the username. And then the password should be do no evil ! And then hit the little check mark, save password. Okay, so then you can apply, and that'll create that server, and then click OK, and it should get to the server. Now, I have no ability to get there right now, so I'm going to have to go to one of my servers, which hopefully I still have, and I'm going to click OK. When you get to the server, you're going to notice a lot of files. What you're going to go to is you're going to look for, now it should look something like this with a whole bunch of files and folders. You're going to look for the public, because that's where you're going to put your files, and that's where the default server is going to be located. So you're going to double click on public, and you're going to need to create a folder if it's not already there. Just one person in your class needs to do it initially. CSD25AM for the AM class, and a CSD25 PM for the PM class. So if you're in AM, you're going to double click on AM, and you're going to need to create a folder for your ID number. So come over to the right, do make directory, and you're going to put 829, whatever your number is. I'm going to do 82921, and that creates a folder. And then you're going to double click on the folder, and you're going to need to create then a folder for each one of your projects, and do it in lowercase. So I'm going to make directory for portfolio and press enter, and then I'm going to go double click on that folder, and now I'm in that folder. And then to move your files over, you're going to change directory on the left. The left side of this software is your computer, the right side is the server. Please make sure you do not go into somebody else's folder. I will say that again, and do not delete or change their files. So we're going to change directory, and we need to go to the sites folder. So I'm going to change directory to sites, and then I'm going to double click on the CSD AM and double click on the portfolio folder, and I'm going to send the two files I created, index and styles. Now you can select multiple files by holding the control key down. So you can select index and then hold the control key and select styles, and then you want to click the arrow that goes to the right, and that's going to send those two files up to the server. Now your teacher will give you an IP address, and you'll be able to go to CSD25AM, your ID number portfolio, / index.html, and pull this up on any computer in the classroom. And so that's basically, you'll go to the front computer and you'll enter the IP address for the server. And this is not your server address, I'm sure. And then you're going to go to, because it'll be path to public, so you'll go to CSD 25AM, then you'll put your ID number, whatever it is, and then you're going to put portfolio, and then you're going to put the index.html, and that'll be the pathing that'll bring up that particular file. So at this point, we're going to stop this video. You'll probably have to watch it a couple times, and we'll see you in the next video. Talk to you later.